Welcome to the Dave Asprey curated box number 9. This is one of my favorite things to do, to be able to just share some of the cool stuff that I find that I come across that's biohacking related, that can help you just have more energy, do more. And the cool thing is, it's a really good deal because you're always spending way less than it would cost you to get the stuff. And I spend a lot of time and energy just finding neat stuff, and I get real pleasure from being able to share it with you. So thank you for subscribing. And it's only $100. You always get way more value than that. In box number 9, I've got this cool thing for you. What could it be? Any guesses? It's a router guard from Smart Meter. And the retail value here is $53. It's a Faraday cage that shields you from the EMF radiation that's emitted by your Wi-Fi router. It blocks about 95% of the EMF, but it doesn't block the Wi-Fi signal. It's easy to install, it doesn't take any tools, the lid lifts up, it's really straightforward. It fits most Wi-Fi routers on the market. And there are a couple different companies out there that have a large combination router modem that's too big for the standard size, but there's a bigger version that's available if you need it. And they also make cages for smart meters. Turns out that the Faraday cage was invented by Charlie Faraday in 1836 to block EMFs, and I once constructed an entire office that was a Faraday cage, and I used to meditate in there, which was really kind of cool. The problem was, well, you don't really get much of a cell phone signal in there. The way this cage works is the conductive metal mesh channels electricity equally on all sides of the enclosure, which provides a constant voltage that cancels out the field. It doesn't block the Wi-Fi itself, so it's not a, quote, true Faraday cage, in that smaller wavelengths can get through, but a lot of the EMF is blocked. And low frequency magnetic fields, like those emitted from the Earth, are not going to be affected. You can also use it by your bed and put your phone in it. And what happens here is that the signal strength is dramatically reduced, and some frequencies that would have gotten through don't get through. So this is one of those sort of harm reduction strategies. Here's the deal. Unnatural man-made EMFs aren't really good for you, but there's lots of things you can worry about that are way more important. I turn my Wi-Fi router off at night. I think it's a really good idea to have one of these around my Wi-Fi router, but end of the day, you don't have to run in fear of Wi-Fi and live in a cave, but the less you're exposed and the weaker the signal, the better off you're going to be. So I take simple steps like this in my own life to do that, and I hope that this is helpful for you. It's certainly easy. You do it one time, you never have to think about it again. Now, what else is inside the biohacking box? There is this really cool piece of tech. It's got blue and red LEDs, and normally you don't want to use blue light for long periods of time. This uses blue LEDs that specifically whiten your teeth, and red LEDs to improve your gum health. And this is from Primal Life Organics. The founder, Trina, is a friend, and she's actually been a guest on Bulletproof Radio. And she's one of the premier holistic skincare experts in the industry. And I really like this thing. They actually sent me a prototype about almost a year ago, and I've been playing around with it, and it totally works. They also make some skincare and some oral health things that are focused on having a natural microbiome, which is really important. And food grade ingredients instead of harsh chemicals with teeth whitening LEDs is, well, it's as biohackery as you can get. You'll find that it works, and if you have gum inflammation and things like that, you can see profound improvements on mouth sores and gum inflammation. And the white teeth, see, seems to work, make a big difference. There's a boost gel in the syringes that uses extra virgin olive oil, 15 essential oils, 2 different clays, and activated charcoal to whiten and strengthen your teeth. You just brush it on. There's no peroxide or bleaches. You can charge this thing from your smartphone, which is really kind of cool, and any sort of portable battery thing will work for you. And use it for 10 to 20 minutes for getting ready in the morning. You don't have to do it every day. So you brush with the stuff, put the thing on, and just kind of walk around. And well, there you go. Your teeth are whiter, your gums are healthier. And if you have things like receding gums and all, this is really important. And if you've looked at my book Headstrong, I think I put it in there, I know it was in my research. There's great research on longevity and oral health, because if you get chronic inflammation from dental infections and just gum inflammation, it's a surprising predictor of cardiac risk. So keep your gums and your teeth healthy. Go to Primal Life Organics to check out all the other stuff they have. Speaking of stopping inflammation, this is the second time I put this in the box because it's so important. This is Homebiotic To Go. Homebiotic is a company that I started. If you've seen Moldy Movie, it's still available online. It's a documentary where I interviewed a dozen experts, including Dr. Hyman and Dr. Amen, who've been on the show lots of times, about the dangers of toxic mold. Dr. Dale Bredesen, who just came on and wrote a book called The End of Alzheimer's, identifies it as one of the top 3 environmental causes of Alzheimer's disease. So we want to get control of toxic mold in our environment. In your home, you want air filters, and you want this natural soil-based probiotic that eats toxic mold as a fuel source. Homebiotic just completed third-party ASTM testing, and they inoculated drywall with toxic mold, and they sprayed it with Homebiotic, and they inoculated a different piece of drywall with toxic mold that was not inoculated. They let it sit for a month at 90-something% humidity and 32 degrees centigrade. In other words, hot and moist, the worst environment for mold, exactly what you get after a hurricane, for instance, or just humidity in your room. And what they found was pretty shocking. Full protection for 2 weeks with Homebiotic, because the bacteria in Homebiotic eat the little roots called hyphae that come out of a mold spore. So the mold literally can't reproduce. It is an amazing hack to get natural bacteria that belong in your environment around. These bacteria won't be in your home because they don't float around the way mold spores do. So if you occasionally miss this around window frames, anywhere that you get extra moisture, you'll see a visible reduction in mold. And I was just in Hawaii and I used exactly this bottle to spray around the grill where there was visible mold in one of the bedrooms in the place I'd rented. Normally I would have liked to move, there wasn't an opportunity to do that, so we practiced harm reduction. This is a very cool product and I just want you to have it. You can use it at your house. I keep this with me when I travel. If my room is funky and I can't move to another room, this makes me feel better. And this is a 2-ounce travel-friendly bottle that's only available here. You also get a card with an additional 10% discount, and the coupon code does stack on top of your subscription discount. A lot of people who are in the know recognize that this is one of the biggest sources of kryptonite in the environment around you, so you might as well just get on a subscription, get 1 bottle every month or 2, whatever works for you and for the environment you're in. Just miss the areas of highest risk. Your car, all entryways, under the sinks, and around windows where you get condensation, shower curtains, things like that. It makes a difference. The more you clean things, the more sunlight it gets, the more often you need to mist it. But I'm telling you, Homebiotic is a serious game changer. See what I did there? Next up, I'm all about the natural good stuff here. There is a tube of something called Nutrasporin from Third Rock Essentials. This thing's worth about 15 bucks. And you've heard me say a lot of times, if I wouldn't put it in my mouth, I wouldn't put it on my skin, and Third Rock Essentials runs by the same deal. Most first aid ointments are petroleum jelly and some kind of antibiotics. And people get allergic reactions to them. Antibiotic resistance is a growing problem. You don't know if the antibiotics are going to work on the specific bacteria that you have in a cut. Nutrasporin is food-grade edible gel with chelated silver oxide that eliminates almost all infectious microbes beyond even bacteria. Colloidal silver and silver have a long history of being used for reducing bacterial growth. In fact, it was very common back in the days of unpasteurized milk delivery. People, as soon as they got their milk, would drop a silver dollar into the milk to make the milk last longer because of the effect of the silver. This stuff is great for cuts, scratches, rashes, bites, and there's even some studies where they've shown it's effective at eliminating or preventing urinary tract infections. It can help with wound healing and infection prevention. And I like the peace of mind that it's not a traditional antibiotic, so it's not going to have those effects on the bacteria that run your body. It turns out many of the mold-derived antibiotics like penicillin are now shown to have negative effects on the mitochondria in your body, which are themselves derived from bacteria. The green tube that's included in the box is water soluble, and there's also a water resistant version you can get for cases where you want the ointment to stay on for a long time. And of course, you get a coupon card for 20% off if you want more. This stuff is in my bathroom as part of my family's first aid kit, and it totally works. Next up is something that is also really cool. I'm always looking for ways to reduce use of plastic wrap in the house. And my kids go to school every single day, and I put stuff in the fridge, and we don't use a saran wrap at home. What I do instead is I use something called beeswax wraps. These are from Be Wild. And what they are is an old technology that used to be used years ago. What it is it's a muslin cloth that is covered with beeswax. So what you do is you open it up, and it actually smells like bees, and it's moldable. You put it over the top of anything. You can wrap a sandwich, gluten-free of course, in it or whatever else you want. And this is a way to not have to use plastic wrap or aluminum foil, which has its own set of problems. So this is a great way to send kids food to lunch, and when I'm traveling and want to bring something, I will do that because it's reusable as long as you don't microwave it, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, or get it in really hot water. So it's a cool way to just keep your food free. Unbleached cotton, beeswax, tree resin, coconut oil, and I have no idea how to say this, I'm gonna admit this. Is it jojoba or jojoba? Only you know. Next up in the box, there is a coupon. And it is a coupon for, well, Game Changers. If you have not picked up your copy of Game Changers yet, and you're a subscriber to the box, what the heck are you doing? This book can save you 500 hours of listening to Bulletproof Radio, because I went through and I statistically measured the answer to that question at the end of every episode. Three most important recommendations for people who want to perform better at being a human being. I went through and boiled this down to 46 laws for high performers. Each law has a set of exercises in it to help you understand if that's the law you want to focus on now. Here's the deal. You subscribe to this box, you're interested in tools and technologies to give you more leverage to be a better human being, to have control of your biology. Doing the right thing at the right time so you have the highest return on investment is really important for you. So I studied what others do as well as what I do and tell the stories and have the rules, the things that matter most to those people. I wrote this book because I wanted to know more for my own development, my own growth, for me to be able to do what I do with Bulletproof, what I do for you. And I learned a lot from conducting those interviews, but the act of boiling it down and structuring it, for me, crystallized the knowledge. And when you read this book, you're gonna get that same benefit. It's one of the most important books that I've read. It has hard science in it. I talk about microdosing. I talk about other ways that are non-pharmaceutical to get out of your head. I talk about things that people do that are related to what you do in the bedroom and how that actually affects men versus women differently. I go really deep on all these different areas. And if you haven't pre-ordered Game Changers or received your copy yet, then, well, you're doing it wrong. There's also a golden ticket for ChiliPad for 2 lucky subscribers. The way golden tickets work are that we randomly include these in boxes. So 2 people are gonna get a box. You wanna make sure you read through all of your stuff in the box so that you know if you got it. And what this is a $500 value pad that goes on your mattress. It has a cooling and a heating temperature control system to optimize your sleep. Way back in the day, Bulletproof was the first company to promote the first generation of the ChiliPad because it was really cool. See what I did there? Anyway, what it does is it runs chilled water on the mattress. And you might be saying, that sounds terrible. No, it's like having a cool pillow underneath you and you sleep so well. The first generation didn't work so well because it had some engineering things to be worked out, and when it worked for me, it worked really, really well. Now though, there's been 10 years of scientific research and development, and having these microtubes work really, really well inside this mattress pad. Water is about 25% more thermally efficient than air, so it's really effective at just keeping you at the temperature where your body will sleep more deeply, and you can actually get better sleep in less time when you control your temperature. And I think sleep temperature can be more important than sleep duration if you can just fall asleep faster and get that high percentage of deep sleep. And here's what you can get from lowering the temperature of mattress. Increase your metabolism by 10%, improve muscle recovery by up to 30%, reduce hot flashes by 85%, more REM sleep, more deep sleep, and there's no EMFs like you'd get from an electric blanket. And it really is one of the most effective sleep products that I've had the chance to use. So 2 lucky subscribers are going to be getting this. And for all the rest of us, 30% off a ChiliPad. And I think that that is one of those things you really, really want to consider. There's also golden tickets for the Truelight pillow. The Truelight pillow is something that's just coming out on the market from TrueDark, the company that makes the trustworthy Twilight sleep glasses that have totally eliminated jet lag for me and the day walkers that I wear indoors the vast majority of the time to block out junk light during the day. The Truelight pillow solves an age-old problem with LED light therapy, and it's that it's in a hard plastic box and it's hard to get that right up against you. It's a pillow that's soft, that has the LED red and infrared lights in it, so you can put your head on it, you can treat your hair and your face while you're laying down on it. It's a new way of doing it. No one else has ever done this before. So of course I had to offer this to you guys because, well, how could I not? Of course, in your box, aside from all the different coupons and all that stuff, you get the Winter 2018 edition Biohacking Box Guide, where I tell you what all this stuff is and basically why you should use it, which always just tells you what to do. And here's the cool thing. If some of the stuff in the box isn't what you want to do, it's the winter edition. So you know what it is, stocking stuffers and gifts for friends. So you always win when you get the biohacking box. I have 2 asks for you if you enjoyed this video. Number 1, if you have a friend who would love the biohacking box, either tell them about it or get it for them for Christmas. Even just 1 box, they'll totally feel surprised and valued, and people love getting it later in the year because it makes them think about you. The other ask is pick up a copy of Game Changers, and if you do, when you read it, if you think it's worth your time, and I really believe that you won't have a hard time with that at all, leave a review for me on Amazon, but certainly please order the book now. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.